Hey guys and gals, Homestead Prepper. The name of this video is There Are Many Like It, but this one is mine. This is a South Bend 9-inch Model A lathe, and it is of World War II vintage, 1944, 1945, somewhere in there. And if you saw the last video, you know that was of course a joke. I was having a little fun. But this video is for real, and I'll show you how I strapped it down. And I did travel over 130 miles to get this thing, and I didn't have any mishaps because it was properly strapped down. I'll show you a little bit about the lathe. Now, I'm not a lathe guy, and I don't know a lot about it. And it's a 444A with a 4-foot bed. All I knew to look was to check the gears, make sure none of the teeth were missing. I didn't see any of that. I checked the bed. It didn't look like it had hardly any wear. He even put a dial indicator on here, and it was only out like a thousandth of an inch, which I thought was pretty good. There's the serial number. A lot of you could probably, tell me the exact date this thing was manufactured. He said the belt was very good for learners, because the worst thing that would happen is if you get into some work and it stalls out or chatters, you won't blow up the bit. The belt will just slip. So, and he ran everything. Everything ran pretty good. It looks like it has that original World War II grease on there too. So this thing probably has never been cleaned. He even, like I said, he took an hour and a half and gave me a complete thing about the machine. And he even made this piece right here, gave me a lathe lesson. This is a chess piece, a pawn, made out of 2024 aluminum, which he just whipped it out in a few seconds. He is upgrading because he got a larger lathe. So this is just a starter lathe for me, and if I get into it, I'll probably sell this one, and I'll probably get my money back out of it, and I'll move up to a larger one. But like I said, this is just something I've been wanting to get into, and I think the ability to make parts and bushings and things like that is a real bonus, a real benefit. You can see it has the much coveted taper attachment to it. Now, some of you all are probably wondering what I paid for it. Okay, well, I did a lot of research before I bought this lathe, and these 9-inch South Bend lathes are going anywhere from like $500 to $1,500. Okay. Now, if you have tooling, then that affects the price. I did see some for $2,500. I did see some even more expensive than that, but someone had taken it apart and cleaned it, and it's like a brand new machine, and they painted it, and that has a lot of value too. So there's a lot of variables there, but for something in this condition, I think $500 to $1,500 is probably a fair price. The guy gave me a 4-jaw chuck, dial indicators, calipers, a bunch of cutting tips. I mean, just all kinds of stuff that came with this thing. And he was asking $900, and I told him I'd make him an offer, and he kind of shook his head, and I said $900, and he smiled. But you know what, guys, you have to know the value of something. I mean, I could have offered him $875, and this guy would have said no. Okay, he's in the business, and plus he was in the business of selling other stuff, so he sold a bunch of stuff, and he knows the game. Had he been asking like $2,500 for this, I wouldn't have even considered it. Okay, I would have went on to something else. But I thought it was a fair deal, and like I said, I'm reasonably certain I could probably sell this for $900 and get my money back out of it. Okay, well, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the lathe right here and show you guys. And I don't know, I got a lot of learning to do. I need to get it off this trailer and get it in some cover. And it took both of us to get it on the trailer here, so I'm gonna have to attempt this by myself. But I just want to show you a little bit about it, and I'll show you how I strapped it down. And I think I went about 130 something miles to go pick this up. So sometimes you have to drive to get a deal. Okay, guys, well, let me show you how I strapped it down, and we'll go from there. Out. I want to show you how I strapped this thing down. I really like the ratchet straps, and I've got it crisscrossed with an X pattern on here, and you can see on my trailer, you can look up in there and see how that fits up in there like that. I've got that one on there, and I've got 3 straps on it. The guy I bought it from, he helped me load it up. Well, actually, yeah, took both of us to load it on here. he said, boy, you really strap stuff down. And I'm like, yeah, because if you've ever, I don't know if y'all have ever been with anybody who just throws stuff up there and it falls off and you've got to get out on the interstate and pick it up. It's a real pain in the butt. It's better just to go ahead and strap it now. And what I did is I strapped this thing down, and as soon as I left where he was, I stopped at the nearest gas station and I went and I retightened all these things up. Now you can't tighten these things anymore. Well, I guess you could, but you're probably going to bend something. And when you move it, it's going to move around a little bit. And I tighten these up over here. So, and then again, I know it sounds ridiculous, but before I got on the interstate, I went and tightened everything up again. And if any of y'all have driven through that I-4 Orlando traffic, it stinks. It's terrible. Okay, well, let me get these straps off right here. I also want to mention that I went through the main webbing of the bed of the lathe. You can see that right there. You don't want to wrap it around here, and you don't want to definitely bend up that screw right there. So everything went through there, or it went on top of something that I didn't think was going to bend that easy. And I strapped that down, and also I strapped this table down too. So like I said, guys, I went 130 miles and I didn't have any mishaps.